Have we gone? Okay. Do you think they can hear me? They can't even hear me, probably. Yeah, didn't breathe because the teacher was strict. Always knew you were a bit weak. Come back. We're back. Are we back? Yes, good. Sorry. People thought that maybe it was the Skyfoogle got it, and someone else said it was because I wasn't breathing. I went, no, I better not do it again in case it goes offline. Oh dear, oh dear. There we are. Loud and clear, says Hawkeye. I'm back. Yes, we're streaming, man. We're streaming. Bit of breaststroke, bit of crawl, bit of butterfly. Good, lovely. We're back. We're live streaming. Lovely. This is the day before Michael McGuinness and Matt McGuinness. Well, somebody's birthday. Whose birthday is it? It's Matt's birthday. Matt McGuinness, happy birthday for tomorrow. Lovely. How come you've written more content than anyone else I've read? Well, no, you know, lots of people write lots, I think. Or do you mean, oh, have I written lots on the internet? Yes, well, that's down to Joe, my son Joe, and my stepdaughter Laura. I mean, if it wasn't for them, then it wouldn't really be up there. Have I ever been on a real bear hunt, says Matt and Michael McGuinness. No, I wouldn't go on a real bear hunt. No, no, no. I believe we shouldn't hunt bears. I don't like seeing bears and all that stuff when they shoot bears and so on. It's a pretend bear hunt. It's like a dream bear hunt. And that's fine. But no, I'd never, ever, 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 ever go on a bear hunt. I might maybe go in the woods, see if I could get a picture of a bear, but then I'd be a bit worried. You know, those enormous grizzlies. That would be quite scary, wouldn't it? You'd have to hide up a tree, maybe. Anyway, no, I've never done that. Yep, lovely. Somebody says, Nangi lol. Michael, can I get a shout out? Yep. Jake Lavaclaw says, bird in the sky. Duh. I'm not quite sure what that means. Bird in the sky. Duh. No, I don't know that. Are all of your stories true, says Will? Interesting question. Some of them are true, and some of them are what's called exaggerated. Do you want to know a Greek word for exaggerate? An ancient Greek word. Okay, it's hyperbole. Hyperbole. Sounds a bit like a kind of jelly, doesn't it? Oh yeah, we went to the shop, went to the supermarket, got some hyperbole. Yeah, no, it means exaggerated for effect. So sometimes you see, I sometimes say to children, hi, I'm Michael Rosen, and I'm so old, I was born in the Stone Age. That's what's called exaggerating. I am very old, but not actually as old as the Stone Age, you see. And I say to them, you know, so in the Stone Age, all we had was stones, rocks, you know, you'd be sitting. We didn't have chairs, just had a rock. You have a table, just another big rock. Mum, I don't like sitting on this rock, my bum hurts. And you say, shush, it's not the chair age yet. And then you have to eat stones. That's what we used to have to do in the Stone Age, you know, bits of rock. Mum, I don't like this stone in my mouth. Shush, she'd say, eat your gravel. And then we didn't have a telly, it was just a rock in the corner of the room. What'd you do at night? Watch The Rock. And there wasn't Dwayne Johnson, just The Rock. There we go. Mum, what's on The Rock? Mum had a really bad joke here. She'd go out, come back in with a little rock, put it on top of the rock and go, The Rock's on the rock. She said, it's not funny, Mum, it's not funny. So then we stare at the rock. Go to school, just the same, sit on a rock, no table or desk, just a big rock. Miss used to say, take out your rock. You see, take it out, you write on your rock. We didn't have words in the Stone Age. Like that. That's what it was like. Yeah, come home, go to bed on a rock. Mum, it's really uncomfortable, my side hurts. Shush, it's not the bed age yet. How did she know? I don't know. So all that's called exaggerating, or what was that Greek word? Hyperbole. It's nice. Do you know how it's spelled? Hyper, H-Y-P-E-R, but the bully bit is B-O-L-E, so it looks like hyperbole. So like the Americans watching, you've got the Super Bowl. The ancient Greeks had the hyperbole. Amazing, isn't it? What kind of message do you want to spread with your poems and stories? Love you, by the way, Alice Morris. Do you know, I'm not sure there is a message, Alice. I mean, it's like, enjoy yourself, like, keep looking, keep listening, think about the way things are around you. Don't be too horrible to each other. We can't stop ourselves being horrible sometimes, but try not to be, I think. Be kind. That's not bad. Be kind, be curious, be happy, that sort of stuff. And then if you're a bit older, it's such fun thinking back to when you were younger and the things that you did and the things that you said. It's not really a message, I suppose, Alice. Let's see what's going on. Kim says, who is the Queen of Holland? I know why Kim, he or she, is asking that, because that's in my poem, The Project, when the inspector came in and said, who was or who is the Queen of Holland? And nobody knew. And our teacher, Miss Goodall, was really worried that the inspector would think she was a no good teacher because we didn't know who is the Queen of Holland. And then I suddenly remembered this little phrase, this little song that my friend Haribo, it's not sweet, that was his name, Haribo, that he used to say, which is, Queen Juliana is a fat banana. So I leaned forward to my mate Haribo and I went, Queen Juliana is a fat banana. And I saw Haribo go like this. And the inspector heard and he said, sorry, what was that? And I went, Queen Juliana. And I just stopped myself saying, is a fat banana. And I was right. She was the Queen of Holland when I was at school. And everyone was really pleased and thought how clever I was, but it wasn't nothing to do with that. It was just the fact that Haribo had a little rhyme. Queen Juliana is a fat banana, like that. It all came from my friend Haribo. It wasn't his real name. His name was Brian Harrison, but we just called him Haribo. And then years later along came the sweets. Haribo, I thought they'd named it after him. Can you please do the poem called Spelling, says Jake Clark. I don't know whether I'll be doing that one, maybe another time. Okay, now who's this? This is Joey. Joey is 16 and he comes from the West Coast of the United States. Wow, somewhere like San Francisco. Joey, you can tell me up there if you want to. I just want to ask you about your next series. Okay, when they're coming up? Straight after this live streaming. Well, not straight after, but very soon after. My next series is coming up and it's called You're Thinking About Donuts. Are you thinking about donuts? Are you thinking about donuts? Well, if I say it often enough, you probably are. It's funny about donuts, isn't it? Do you know what Bob Marley used to have in his donuts, don't you? Jammin', jammin'. No, never mind. We hope you like jamming too. Anyway, seriously, he did. Bob Marley loved jam in his donuts. Yeah, so that's good. We've done that. And now it's Michael Rosen News. Good. The website. We've spent some time updating the Michael Rosen website. Thank you to big shout out for Mark Foster of Artifice Design. He does my website. Okay, I'm going to give you the web address for that, actually. It's www.michaelrosen, all one word, remember A-E-L in Michael, michaelrosen.co.uk. Okay, and there you'll be able to find everything to do with, well, with, what's my name again? Sorry, Dave, what's my name? Michael. Michael, that's it. Michael, what's my other name? I don't know. No, Dave doesn't know my other name. Something to do with roses. Michael Rosen. Do you know what Rosen means? Are we off? Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. And we're back. Are we back? It's obviously some sort of special little thing to make life a bit more difficult. And so you sit there and suddenly it goes blank. And that's the bit that you can have your donuts in, you see? So when it goes blank, you just grab a donut. Yeah? And then afterwards we'll be going, I have no idea why that happens. Yep. So Wideface says, I wanted to know what Rosen means, Dave, and now you do know. Die Rosen in German, auf Deutsch, as they say. Hello, Michael Rosen, says Timur. And he says he loves my poems. That's lovely. I'm listening, he says, I'm listening to your poems and public speeches at my office job. Are you at work, Timur? And you're watching me? That's terrible. And it's such a joy to listen to your philosophy about literature and poems. Wow, Timur. Have you considered doing voiceovers for cartoons, video games and commercials? I'm waiting, Timur. The phone never rings. Look, there it is. There's the phone. Ring. Someone asked me to come on and do funny voices. I can do the voice of, how about the voice of the man who used to be the boss of my college? He used to have a very strange way of talking. He would his voice used to go down and then come up again, you know. He'd say, come up to me and go, are you working? Do you hear the way he talked? Are you working? And I'd say, well, not really. Are you thinking? And I'd go, well, not really. I've completely lost the capacity to do either. That's the way he spoke. It's odd, isn't it? You know, he'd say something like, here's a book. Would you like to read it? Anyway, yeah, so that would be a good character in a cartoon. Why don't they ring me up? I'm waiting for the phone call. Dave, find out why I don't do cartoons. And then he says, Timur says, once I found a concert of your performance with jazzy music by the Homemade Orchestra. Yes, that's right. You can find that online on YouTube. Do you have any plans to do these jazzy poem performances on stage in the future? I'm going to let you into a secret, Timur. I don't think I was very good at it. Because do you know what? I can't keep time. You know, in music, it's supposed to go like, you know, you can have 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. But the trouble is I keep hitting the beats in between. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, I kind of go 1, 2, 3, So I'm in between. I sort of turn it into a mixture between reggae and the jazz that's not supposed to be doing it. And the jazz musicians get angry with me. They go, Michael, or Mike maybe, Mike, you were off. That's what they say. You were off. And I go, oh, sorry, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I go, 1, You see, I miss it. So that's why I'm not doing any more, Timur. Sorry about that. But maybe, you know, maybe if someone wants me to be off, I might do it again. Yes, who else have we got? Emperor Eku says, is it the chair age yet? I'll just check. Yes, it is. It is, Emperor. It is indeed. George says, before I ask my question, I'd like to say thank you. Well, that's very kind of you. I love reading them to my younger cousins. How long does it take for you to come up with your great ideas and put them onto paper? Well, everybody has ideas. Who's this from? George Rose. Everybody has ideas, and one way to get your ideas together is just to sit and daydream, like this. Just give yourself a little bit of time, and then when you sit there daydreaming, you'll start thinking of things that you'd like to do, things that you have done, things that maybe you wished you hadn't done, things that you'd like to happen tomorrow or the day after, or maybe a more dreamy thing like, what if I could fly, or what if I don't know, had bigger shoes or anything like that. Now, after you've done a bit of daydreaming, right, you daydream like this. Then stop, and then you write down the daydreams like that. I was thinking I could have blue shoes. I was remembering a holiday where I fell in the water with my clothes on. I was thinking about this custard, and there were things to play, and you write these things down. And then you look at it, and if you see anything there that makes you think, oh, I could write a bit more about that, and you could take out the bits where it says, I was thinking, or I was daydreaming. So it's more like a sort of little splodges of things from your dream, your daydream, like that. And then you can make them a bit longer if you want to, or you can cut out bits that you don't want to do, and that can start playing around. And that's a great way to start getting ideas. That's one way. So I think I'll tell you some more ideas later, but that's one of the great places to start, is just daydreaming. And all writers daydream. They daydream either before writing or while they're writing, and then afterwards they might daydream a bit and then go back and rewrite. But daydreaming is really the starting point for all writing, because all writing really begins with 2 words. What if? Yeah? Certainly all poems and stories begin that way. What if? What if I got up in the middle of the night and had some... Now, it might be it really did happen, but the what if is really important. So there we are, George. Thanks very much for that. What else have we got? How many Emmys have I won, says Max Brady. Absolutely none, Max. Nice idea, but no, I haven't won any at all. Very good. Lovely. If you've got any jokes, don't forget to tell me them and I'll try and read them out. Ah, there we are. One Shot Archer says, hello from Australia. And then afterwards it says, Tsa! Thank you. Good. Lovely. Yeah, so who have we got now? Ryan Vay says, hello, Michael Rosen. I want to ask, was the Hollywood, that video, a real experience you had, right? Do you know what? It wasn't my experience. It was my son Joe's, the one who does this whole YouTube channel. Yeah, Joe was eating the Hollywood and I'm the dad in that story. You know, when the dad goes, oh, I'll have that, and leans across, that was me. And we were on holiday. I think we were on the Greek island of Corfu, as I remember it. I can't remember the name of the cafe, Ryan, I'm sorry, but it was in Corfu, and it was this big Knickerbocker Glory like type thing called the Hollywood. That's right. And so what I did there, I stole Joe's story, really. Have to be a bit careful about that when you write stories, whether you do steal someone else's story. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not. So really, the person who's saying, I went to a cafe and all the rest of it, that is Joe, and the dad is me. Right, thanks for asking that, Ryan. Thank you. Hello to Jamie Lockreen, who says, what? It was you? Yeah. You mean it is me? Yes. And the sauce says, greetings from Poland. Wow. Do you know, the sauce? If you go back to my great-grandparents, they're very nearly all from Poland. Yes, they come from places like Kroźniewice and, I'm going to say this wrong, but something like Dąbrowa Górnicza. So they all came from there, and one or two other towns in Poland. So nice to see you. Yeah, very good. And Peter Kendall says, which one's your favourite poem? Well, I've mentioned The Watch, and I mentioned Down Behind the Dustbin. I got some other Down Behind the Dustbin poems, haven't I? Down Behind the Dustbin, I met a dog called Sid. He could smell a bone inside, but he couldn't lift the lid. That's right. Down Behind the Dustbin, I met that dog called Sid. He said he didn't know me, but I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, that dog wasn't telling the truth. Yeah. Down Behind the Dustbin, I met a dog called Barry. He tried to lift the bin, but it was too heavy to carry. That's right. Down Behind the Dustbin, I met a dog called Nicola. She looked a bit like an onion. So I thought that I would pickle her. That's right. Very good. Down Behind the Dustbin, I met a dog called Louisa. There was another dog there, and she was trying to squeeze up. That's it. Down Behind the Dustbin, I met a dog called Felicity. It's a bit dark down here because they cut off my electricity. That's good. You know, I was in a school the other day and I did that. Down Behind the Dustbin, I met a dog called Felicity. It's a bit dark down here because they cut off my, and these kids said, tail. Doesn't quite work, does it? Does it work, Felicity? Anyway, and that Jim one, you know, I was in a school one time and I went down behind the dustbin. I met a dog called Jim. He didn't know me. I didn't know him. And this kid shouted out, well, how did you know his name was Jim then? And I went, no, I don't really know, actually. Sorry. Anyway, those are amongst my favourites, but I do have other favourites. Let's see how we're doing. I could read you one out of here. This book is called Jelly Boots, Smelly Boots. We're going to come back to this in a minute. And how about this one? Oh, I quite like this one. You see, I'm turning over the pages, trying to find the poems, turning over the pages, trying to find the poems. See, I marked them all like that. How about this one? I'm sure it's here. Help! That's how it begins. This poem's called Orange. Help! I'm stuck in an orange. I can't get out. It's really orange in here. And wet. I quite like that one, because it would be, wouldn't it, if you think about it? If you were stuck in a cucumber, it would be really green and wet. And if you were stuck in a pineapple, it would be really yellow and wet. Yeah, I think we've got a little pattern going on there, haven't we? Yeah, and here's a little poem. Words are presents that we give to each other. You to your sister, me to my brother. your friends to you, you to your friends, on and on and on. See? It never ends. That's really the story of my life, isn't it, really? Paul Kendall, that was. Paul Kendall, you heard some of my favourite poems. Lovely. David Griffiths writes, Dear Michael Rosen, my son, Dafydd Wilhelm Griffiths, is hard of hearing and dyslexic. But he says he enjoys English greatly as they often show your poems or stories. He's a massive fan. Lovely to see you, lovely to hear from you, Dafydd. I write this email just so you could give him a quick shout out. Yes, I have. One other thing, if you could do a funny face, maybe holding your breath from no breathing, that would be brilliant. One more time, here it comes. Okay, I'm going to say no breathing. Everybody watching, stop breathing and do my face. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. No breathing. Good, well done. Whew. Wow, that was hard, wasn't it? So anyway, I hope that helped David and son Dafydd. Good, lovely. What else have we got? Oh, here we are. Keitel Jackson, what's the most valuable fish? A goldfish. Yes, thank you, Keitel. What do you call a fish with no eyes? Do you know? Do you get that one? You see it hasn't got an eye, you see? Yeah. And what do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea. Yeah. And what do you call a deer that has very sadly passed away and had no eyes? Still no idea. Yeah, just thought I'd share that with you. Good, lovely. And Liam Coplin, maybe if it's a French name, or Coplin otherwise. What do robbers eat? Takeaway. Yeah? You got it? Good, lovely. Right, okay. Who's writing to me now? Cole Brown, Torin Longnecker, Richard Lloyd. Now, the next name I can't quite pronounce. I think it might be a Portuguese or Brazilian name. Cielo, sorry, Ochoa, Alex Davidson, and Wolfgang Garrett. Okay, and they want a shout out. There we are. I said your names. But I'm sorry, Cielo Ochoa, if I pronounced your name wrong. I must do some more training in Portuguese and Brazilian. And I'm not going to mention how either Portugal or Brazil got on in the World Cup. Oh, sorry, I just mentioned it. Right, Ruby Erica Harris, did you really eat your mum's chocolate cake while everyone was sleeping? When I made that story, it's kind of a bit true and a bit exaggerated. I did used to get up in the middle of the night. Don't tread on the creaky floorboard. I did used to do that. I think I did it once because I wanted to eat some caramel wafers. Do you like caramel wafers? Caramel wafers, you know, like that. And they always stick to your finger, and they stick to your finger. Anyway, then I did like chocolate cake. Oh, I just burped there, sorry. I did like chocolate cake. I think I got up in the night to have some caramel wafers, and I had some chocolate cake at another time. The other thing I used to like, it's nearly as nice as chocolate cake, is pickled herring. Do you like pickled herring? You know, it's like all grey and in this vinegary stuff and cold, and then you get out the pickled herring and it looks like a sort of dead mouse. Oh, delicious. Pickled herring, let me recommend it. Yes, I think your name is Trap Jer Gulk. How did you come up with the outing? The outing is the one where the teacher goes, right, class 6, I'm talking, quiet everybody. That one that begins like that. That one, I came up with that one because that was a real teacher. I think his name was Steve. And while he was doing all that, I was writing it down at the back of the class. Yeah? So all those lines nearly, it really was. I was like a secretary writing down what he was saying. Then I put it all together and he saw it and he went, yeah, it was a bit like that. Yeah, he didn't think it was very funny at all. Anyway, yeah, so the idea came from just listening to this guy getting a class ready to go on an outing, or I think if you're American, I think you tend to call it a field trip when the class goes off somewhere like the Science Museum, to the Science Museum. No sliding on the shiny floors, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's where that idea came from. Yeah, let's have a look and see. No, I'm seeing any more jokes coming up, not for the time being. Okay. Oh, it's Michael Rosen news time. Chocolate cake. Some of you may notice Chocolate Cake is now a book. Dave, are you putting up the picture of the book? Yes, lovely. But Chocolate Cake is also a play. If you're in England, it's on at the Old Vic. That's not a person, that's the name of the theatre. It's not Old Vic, who's got a little bit... No, it's Old Vic, the name of the theatre, in Bristol. So if you're anywhere near Bristol, Chocolate Cake is now on. The last show is the 28th of July, but the new dates will be easy to find on my website, www.michaelrosen.co.uk. All right, there's the website. Dave's putting that up, I think. All right, but you'll have to move fast if you want to book tickets. There's a special offer. Buy 3, get 1 free. That's a little poem, isn't it? In London, people tend to say free when they're saying 3. So that would be buy 3, get 1 free. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so if you put the promo code chocolate, you'll get a free ticket with your other free. See, that's how they speak in London. We speak, I should say. All right. And then you've got to stay tuned for more news about the new video series, a new channel and T-shirts for sale. And while we're on Chocolate Cake, by the way, look, my book Chocolate Cake is now out in paperback. And that's the story of the chocolate cake, the way I tell it. Look at all these lovely pictures by Kevin Waldron, who won a prize as the best illustrator of the year in Ireland. Big round of applause for Kevin. Yes, come on. Dave, clap. What are you doing? Yeah, and Laura. Yeah, and come on, Matt, clap. He can't take his hands off the camera or the camera will go like that. Anyway, so look, there we are. So chocolate cake and a big prize for Kevin Waldron. That's nice, isn't it? So that's now out in paperback. So we did that, didn't we? We've done chocolate cake. Lovely. Alexander's running. He said he'd like a shout out. What's your favourite book? Well, you know, I'm quite fond of my Uncle Gob books. There we are. There's Uncle Gob and the Dread Shed. And then there's Uncle Gob and the Green Heads. Okay, I'm going to have more news about the Uncle Gob books. And these are stories about a little boy who lives with his mum and his uncle, who drives him crazy because he's always like asking questions and saying annoying things. Like Malcolm, who's eating baked beans with the toast on top of the baked beans. And his uncle says, but you're not eating the baked beans on toast. You've got the baked beans under your toast. When you've got baked beans on toast, you have to have the baked beans on the toast. And the little boy's going, oh, stop it. I can't stand this. So him and his mate Cracker Snacker, they make up jokes and things, and they keep thinking up ways to get rid of Uncle Gob. And when Malcolm goes like this, his genie, the genie of Malcolm's nose, appears. He's quite a strange genie because he's always practicing doing his muscles. How do you think? How do you think my biceps are? So sometimes he's not very good at helping Malcolm because he's too busy going, do you want to feel my biceps? Amazing. So those are the Uncle Gob books. But Uncle Gob has got a genie as well, and he's even more powerful. So sometimes the books are struggle between the genies. That's not somebody called Gene. You understand that? Yeah. Good. So I'm quite fond of those. So they're sort of like a favourite book. I'll have some news about them. Sarah Kilfeather says, wonderful news. You met my son in Dublin at the Literature Festival event in Smock Alley Theatre. Everybody has to wear a smock in Smock Alley. They're all walking around in smocks. Do you know what a smock is? It's like a sort of garment that looks a bit like a tent. So when you go into Dublin, right, everybody's walking around like this in ordinary clothes and the rest of it, and then you go into Smock Alley, you immediately have to put a smock on. Like that. That's called hyperbole. Okay, so he was the lad, Sarah Kilfeather says, who told you about taking part in the Community Games final. He took part in the under-12 recitation, performed no breathing, and Ben won gold. Dave, Laura, he won gold. Lovely, well done. Few words of encouragement. Well, what can I say? Go on writing, go on performing, Ben. Ben Kilfeather, you have a wonderful time and it was lovely meeting you. I don't think you were wearing a smock though, Ben. Okay, so maybe next time you could write a poem about Smock Alley where everyone wears smocks. Lovely. What else you got? Nathan Holdcroft very kindly has written up hyperbole. Lovely, thank you, well done. Archie Struthers seems to think that I'm the fiercest tomato in the world. That's interesting. Lovely, good. Say happy birthday to Ben Hewison. Happy birthday, Ben. I think I covered that one. Shout out for Kieran Beatty. Fatima Rifat says, say hello to my 3 daughters, Safia, Amina and Dania, and tell them to tidy your room. Safia, Amina and Dania, tidy your room. I sounded quite like a dad then, didn't I? Do it one more time. Tidy your room. There we are. You can show them that, can't you, Fatima? I'm sure they'll love that. Jeffrey says, why did you start doing the stories and writing books? Do you know, I think it was because my brother made me laugh pretending to be my dad. That's how it happened, because we used to share a bedroom, you see. We used to share a bedroom together, and my brother he used to get told off by my dad quite a lot. And so the way my brother got his own back was like imitating him. So if my dad, he sort of used to mutter to himself. He used to do things like, so my brother, we'd be in the bedroom and we'd be mucking about. In the middle of it all, my brother would go, oh, I think he did something with his hand as well. I know, he'd go like this. Exactly. So we'd be mucking around, hey, in the middle of it all, my brother would go. So that became a little thing that we used to do, you see, in the bedroom, go, can you do that? And then the other thing my dad used to do, he didn't say be quiet. He didn't say shush. He didn't say in Yiddish, which is the way to say be quiet in Yiddish is stumm. He didn't used to say stumm. I learnt that later. All right. The way he used to get us to be quiet was go like this. The noise. That's all he did. Okay. So if you're making a big noise in the car or something, hey, like that, my dad would go, the noise. Can you do that? It's like there's something really painful in the middle of your head. Then you take that bit of your hand. I don't know what that bit's called. That bit's the palm and that bit's the ridgy bit. And then you go like this. The noise. So my brother used to do that in the bedroom as well. We're all mucking about. I'm sitting on his head for half an hour, you know, that sort of thing. And in the middle of it all, my brother would go, the noise. Like that. Well, I used to laugh at that, you see. And then I thought, wow, that's quite a funny way of going on where you pretend to be people. Yeah? And so really that was how I got started. And so it was like really sort of doing things that my brother did, but writing them down. Now, when I meet my brother, he goes, hey, Mick, you know my poems you write? What? Yeah, he says, you know my poems you write? Because he thinks that all this stuff that I've done, they're all sort of things he's told me, and then I've written them down. I've nicked them off him. Yeah. It's nearly true, actually. Yeah. Anyway, never mind that. Right, let's get on. What have we got? So Andrew the Nintendrone says, me and my friend Charlie love your poems. Well, that's lovely. And Digital Death Squid. What? Digital Death Squid? That is seriously scary. Just picture that for a moment. A squid, right? But it's digital. And it can cause death. Can you imagine it swimming through the water? Or slightly pixelated. Anyway, Digital Death Squid. Oh, it's gone. He's going, never let me see you doing that again. Yeah, that was another thing my dad used to say. Never let me see you doing that again. His finger drills my shoulder. Never let me see you doing that again. Hey, that really hurt. Yeah. That's right. Another one that my brother used to do. He used to sit in the bedroom going, never let me see you doing that again. That's how I learned how to do these things from my brother. Very good. There we are. And Luminescent Phoenix says, Michael Rosen plagiarized his brother, confirmed. Exactly, Luminescent Phoenix. You must write to him and tell him. My name is Juan Carlos Fermin. Been an avid fan of your work for years. I'm a recent graduate in literature and philosophy. Well, thank you. And owe a lot of my passion for poetry. Shout out Sierra Ciano, Angelico Fermin, Kathy Yin, Remy Agbula, Emilio Garcia, and as a follow-up request, please acknowledge my dog. Well, the dog's called Marty. Hi, Marty. Good Lord, did you hear that, Dave? Did you hear that? The dog's here. I'll just say that again. Marty? How did the dog get in here? Marty? Sorry. Oh, he's here. Oh, Marty, hello. No, we haven't got any food. Laura, will you take the dog out, love? Yeah, Laura's taking the dog out. Alan Tsui writes, thank you again for being the headline feature. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Headline feature. At the Griffin Arts Festival last night, Shout out Willowbrook Primary. I remember you, Willowbrook. Stay in there. Yep. You're going to arrange for my webcast to be on the large screen in the hall. Hi, Willowbrook. Are you waving? Wave back to me, Willowbrook. Willowbrook. Lovely. May I ask on behalf of my family school if you would also receive a shout out? Their school is Western Park Primary in Haringey. Do you know, I go right past Western Primary almost every day. I went past Western Park on the way here today. You know, we're in a YouTube today. I've explained this at the beginning, but we are in a tube. And I had, in order to get here, I went past, just on the bus, you know, the W7, all right, past Western Park. If I'd known. There, are you there, Western Park? Well, I live quite near to you. Yep. Okay, and Brad Matty says, do you love Italian food? Yes, I do. I do love Italian food. And in fact, I hardly speak any Italian at all, but the one little bit of Italian I speak is this. Con funghi. Yes, so those of you who can speak Italian, or if you are Italian, you'll know that means with mushrooms. Very, very important thing to say. If you go to Italy and maybe you're walking through the street, you see a policeman, you can go, con funghi. You see, and then he'll know or she'll know that you want mushrooms. Do you see? Or maybe you're in the station and you want to buy a ticket. And then you can say, scusi, that kind of means excuse me, con funghi. And maybe you'll get a mushroom instead of a ticket. You see how useful that is? So, but no, seriously, I do love Italian food. I love the pizzas I love the one, what's it called? Giardino, the one with all the, or vegetariana. I like that one very much. I do like pasta. I have spaghetti bolognese. I love all that stuff. Yes, I do, very much. And there's something else I always like, Italian. Anyway, yes, I do. I like that. So Jacob Luke Long says, are there any past works that I regret? Oh dear. Or feel like you'd do a better job making the experience you have today? Well, yes, actually. My very first book was called Mind Your Own Business. It's not a great thing to call a book, actually, is it? Because, you know, I heard that when that book came out, there were some children that were going into a library near me and they were going, excuse me, yeah, can we have a book, please? And the librarian said, yes, what book would you like? Mind Your Own Business. And the librarian said, don't you be so rude. And these kids said, well, it's not our fault. It's what Michael Rosen called it, wasn't it? I'm not quite sure why they went, Actually, what does mean? What do you think it means? Is it in a dictionary? You know, if you've got a dictionary and you open the dictionary and there's, I don't know, table or sky, and then It wouldn't be in a dictionary though, would it? But you could have noises in dictionaries, couldn't you? Wonder why they're not in dictionaries. It's funny that, isn't it? Anyway, that first book, Mind Your Own Business, there's some poems in there that I think, oh, I wouldn't mind having a go at rewriting them. Once a book comes out and the poems are in it, it's very hard to rewrite them. Right, so how are we doing? Let's have a look, see what we've got. What candy is never on time? It's Keitel Jackson again. Keitel Jackson, I think, has put up around about 428 messages here. What candy is never on time? Chocolate. Anyway, never mind. Right. Have you got it? Yeah, it's not on time. The candy, the sweets. No, right, very good. Lovely. And who's this? Who have we got now? Evan or Evan Vey. He's always had a question. He says, most of your early videos are poems and stories from a book called The Hypnotizer, but the video of no breathing in class is drastically different from the version found in the book. What inspired you to make those changes? Good question, Evan. Okay, you see I'm talking now. When I write, I pick up a pen or I sit at the computer and I make up something, and then when you write something, it's like you freeze it. Do you get me? It's like water, and you put it in the fridge and it goes like ice, you know, there's water. That's a poem, frozen. I'll do it again, okay? Here's a poem. It's in my head, you write it down and it's frozen. You see that? Now, then I go into schools and I meet children and I start performing the poem, yeah? And what happens is I might start with the book in my hand and reading the poem, and then I remember it and I put it down, and then the poem starts changing. It's alive, it's back like it was in my head, and I can change bits and I can add bits and do new bits. So that's why it changes. Then my son Joe says, make the videos. Do I go back to the way it was when it was frozen, or do I do it in the new way? Well, I nearly always do it in the new way. Do you know, now the way I do, when I go into schools and do the chocolate cake, I've added a new bit, okay? You might not, it's not like it is on the video. It's changed again. There's a bit where when I'm eating the chocolate cake, that bit, I go, because I mustn't make a noise. And then I've got a whole shushy thing that's going on now. So it's different again. So these things change. I know, well, you've asked, Evan, and that's the story. Yeah, so who else have we got up there? Okay, Harrison Gray says, plate in the cupboard, plate in the cupboard. I like that. Do you know, any phrase you say will make a rhythm. So you say plate in the cupboard. When you say it again, plate in the cupboard, plate in the cupboard, plate in the cupboard, it starts to make a rhythm, doesn't it? Plate in the cupboard, plate in the cupboard. Now let's put these to it. Plate in the cupboard. That's 2 beats for each one, isn't it? Plate in the cupboard, plate in the cupboard. You can make that into a chorus. So you could all be going, plate in the cupboard, plate in the cupboard. And then you can make up other things. You could say knife on the table. You see, so you go plate in the cupboard, plate in the cupboard. Knife on the table, plate in the cupboard, plate in the cupboard. What else could you say? Chair on the floor, plate in the cupboard, plate in the cupboard. Knife on the table, plate in the cupboard. Chair on the floor, plate in the cupboard. You can build up poems just from little words like that, little rhythms that you can make. Because people think, you know, quite often you can only make a rhythm like with a drum or with a bass, dumma, 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 dumma. But you can make rhythms with words, you see. So you could have a place like the swimming pool. You go swimming pool, swimming pool, swimming pool. And then you say all the things that you do in the swimming pool over the rhythm. Swimming pool, swimming pool. We dive in, swimming pool, swimming pool. We splash about, swimming pool, swimming pool. You see? And that's how, do you know, jazz musicians work. They start off with what's called the ground or the bed or the riff. See, they go dum dum dum, and then the soloists go ba-ba-da-doop, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-doop, down, 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 like that, over the top of the riff. You can do the same thing with words, make a rhythm out of anything. We open the book, we open the book, we open the book. There was a fairy, we opened the book, opened the book. There was a bear, we opened the book, we opened. See, like that? You can just make poems just like that, just out of your mouth. You don't have to even write them down. It's amazing, isn't it? Okay, what do we got? Costa Rucos says he loves, his favourite is hot food. And that happens to my family. Well, we did hot food, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Nice. Good. And Jack Brown says, can you do the famous line when you say no? Do you know, I didn't see that coming. Thank you, Jack. Well, I did it, didn't I? And Anbia Popal says, can you teach us how to do the plop sound from the hot food poem? I think, and beer means this bit. How do you do that? Okay, so there's several ways to make clicky sounds. I don't believe I'm saying this. Okay, there's several ways to make clicky sounds with your mouth. One way that my son's really good at, my youngest son, where you do that one. You know, it's sort of like, sounds a bit like a horse, you know. Now, I'm not very good at that. That one, you put your tongue on the roof of your mouth, you squeeze it up, and then you open. No, I'm not very good at that. Okay, so that's one clicky noise. Now, my clicky noise is you close your mouth and then you like make your cheeks go in as tight as they can, like just before you're about to swallow. Like that, you see. Ideally, you should have just a little tiny bit of saliva in your mouth. So wait a minute. I bet you enjoyed that, didn't you? Okay. And then it makes it's a bit easier to do it. Oh, that was a good one, wasn't it? Yeah. So as you draw in your cheeks and you kind of push your tongue towards the roof of your mouth, just at the point where you think it's as tight as it can be, you open your mouth as fast as you can. Like that. And that should make the noise. Nice. Like that. Yeah? Does that work? I hope so. Glad to pass on these very important things. Some people, they learn maths, some people learn science, and today you learned how to go. See the things you can learn? It's amazing, isn't it? So there we are. And Bia Popal, I hope that helped. Yes. Josh Carroll and Brad Walsh. He's my best friend, it says. A question. Is the family a dream in the bear's imagination because he's so lonely, says Sophie Brinkworth from St Mark's, Brighton, England. So, bear hunt. Think of the book. Family going on a bear hunt. They find the bear. What do they say? They go, "What's that? It's a bear. One shiny wet nose, two big furry ears, two big googly eyes. What is it? It's a bear. Quick, back to the cave. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Back through the snowstorm. Hoo, hoo. Back to the forest. Stumble, trip, stumble, trip, stumble, trip. Back through the mud. Back to the river. Dive in, splosh, breaststroke. Crawl, ka-chung, ka-chung, ka-chung. Butterfly. Whee! Back through the grass. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Down the road. Up to a house. Open the door. Up the stairs. Dub, 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 dub. Oh no, we forgot to shut the door. Back downstairs, dub, 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 dub. Slam the door, bang. Back upstairs, dub, 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 dub. Along the passage, into the bedroom, into bed, under the covers. We're not going on a bear hunt again. Exactly. Well, in that one, you could say the whole thing's a dream in the bear's head. The bear was dreaming it. Or one of the people in the family. Or all of them. Maybe they were dreaming it. Or maybe they were both dreaming it. Maybe the bear was dreaming it and the children, and somehow the dreams collided in the book. You'll have to decide that. I don't know. What an interesting idea. Thank you, Sophie Brinkworth. You know, you could think, I wonder what the bear told his friends when he met up. I was in the cave. And these people came in. Yeah. That's how it could begin. You could write the rest of that, couldn't you? Do you think you could do that? We've got more news. Ta-da! And this is to tell you that there is another play on. It's called Bear Hunt Live. Luckily, we did that bear thing, isn't it? It's on out there. Wait for this. The Lyric, L-Y-R-I-C, The Lyric in London. Dave, have we got a picture? Oh, we've even got film, I think. Lovely.
tea. There won't be any bother or fuss for all of you to come along with us. What a beautiful day it is, the sun is shining high, and all we got to do is find out where the home is of that big old bear. We're going on a bear hunt, we're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day, we're not scared. We're going on a bear hunt, we're gonna catch a big one. What a beautiful day. We are not we are not scared. We are not we are not scared.
Right, hello again. So that's on the play. The Bear Hunt plays on at the Lyric Theatre, Shaftesbury Avenue, that's London, from the 4th of July to the 2nd of September, all right? So you can join the intrepid adventurers on their quest to find a bear. There's a website for you, www.bearhuntlive, all one word, .com. Great. And I'll be announcing again the new video series, the new channel, and the the t-shirts. Yes, first the poems, then the t-shirts. Exactly, the t-shirts are the man. So you should be able to see those. I'm going to whiz through some more requests now because we're nearing the end. All right, so Sue Barnes says we're St Bernadette's Library Club, yeah, in Blackpool. We're writing a steampunk themed story set in the future. We've invented our own world called Your Jip. I like that, which means harmony. Lovely, where the countries have moved and the people have changed. Lovely, well done, Library Club team. Keelan Reinhardt says, hi, Michael, I love your stories. I come to your channel after a hard day to unwind. Lovely, very good. Kelly O'Reilly from a school, and I think that's in Irish, so I'm going to find that quite hard to say, Kelly. I'm really sorry, but something like, you can laugh at me if I get this wrong, Pobblescoil Nishan, maybe. So lovely, Kelly. Liam Parr, where are you, Liam? You want to know about my brother Brian and how he's doing? Well, my brother Brian, for most of his life, he worked at the Natural History Museum here in London because he's an expert in fossils. When I'm being really horrid, I say that my brother is a fossil. But anyway, I hope you're not watching this, Brian, otherwise I'll get into trouble. Okay, so he looks after fossils. They were those animals that turned into a stone, you know, the sort of thing. So that's my brother Brian. Purple Class, hello Purple Class. Not quite sure where you are, Purple Class. You're just Purple Class, and in Purple Class there's Jess, Luca, Grace, Ben, Mylon, Sophie, Leah, and Gethin. I won't answer all those questions. Jess says, if you had one wish, what would it be and why? That I could play for Arsenal Football Club in the Premiership. Have you heard of them? No, okay. And then which football team are you supporting in the World Cup? Excluding England, I was supporting Belgium. Yep, okay. And there we are. Joey, age 12, says, where did you get the idea of the sky foogle? That came from a book about American folklore, and I got the title from there. And you can do that, you know, when you see pictures or you're out and about and you see a funny name, you think, oh, I could borrow that and make up a funny story. So that's where I got that from. Billy O'Rourke says, London Airport and The Watch, are they based on things that actually happened during your childhood? London Airport, 100% yes. The Watch, 100% yes. Chocolate Cake, 50-50. Yes, thank you, Billy. Ian Sabourin, or if you say it in a French way, Sabourin, okay. Shout out, yes, I've done that. Ruth Hall, big shout out for class 8X of Dean Community School. Peter Lee, whoa, well done. 8X, Dean Community. They love your rap. You may think I'm happy, you may think I'm sad, you may think I'm crazy, you may think I'm mad. Hang on to your seats and listen right here. I'm going to tell you something to burn your ear. Hip hop, hip hop hat. I'm giving you all the Michael Rosen rap. I was born on the 7th of May. I remember very well that awful day. I was in my mother, curled up tight, though I have to say it was as dark as night. Nothing to do, didn't want to leave. I was so happy, didn't want to breathe. Suddenly I hear some people give a shout, one push, Mrs. Rosen, and he'll be out. I'm telling you all, that's a puzzle to me. I shouted out, how do you know I'm a he? The doctor shouted, good Lord, he can talk. I popped out my head, said, now watch me walk. I juked and jived around that room, balam bam biddy, balam da diddy boom, a hip hop hat. I'm giving you all the Michael Rosen rap. That's what I am, that's what I be, with an M, with an I, with a K, with an E. That's what I am, that's what I be, Mr. Mike, Mr. Michael, Mr. Rosen, Mr. Me. A hip hop hat. I'm giving you all the Michael Rosen rap. Yes, so I know I missed out a bit there, but we are in a bit of a hurry, so that was like a digested version, a little bit cut there. So who's this? Ollie. Ollie says he's got the Hypnotizer book that went out of print. Wow, what got you into poetry, and why don't you do another job? What else could I do? What else could I do? Dave, you got any ideas? What could I do? No? No? Sell... I could be a footballer. Thanks, Dave. I love the faith. I love that. That's nice. That's great. Why don't I do another job? It's good. Michael Rosen News. Yes, here it is again. Newsflash, I've written some new books. Yes, here we go. Unexpected Twist, inspired by Charles Dickens' classic Oliver Twist. You should be able to see that up on the screen now. That's coming out in September. How about Uncle Gob and the Plot? Yes! We've not got 2 Uncle Gob books, we've got 3. This time there's a plot. That's the plot of the story. And then there's a plot in the plot. That's why it's called Uncle Gob and the Plot. Should be able to see that on your screen now. And here's a clip from the first chapter of Uncle Gob and the Green Heads. Uncle Gob and the Green Heads. Chapter 1, The Roar. Or is it a roar? 23, 24, 25, said Malcolm. Tell them to stop doing that, said Uncle Gob very loudly. 26, 27, 28. Oh, for goodness sake, Derek, said Malcolm's mum, Tess. They can have a bit of a laugh counting their baked beans, can't they? Beans are for eating, not counting, said Uncle Gob. I have one basic rule when it comes to eating. Eat it or leave it. Malcolm looked at Uncle Gob. He thought, the thing I hate most in the world is Uncle Gob being here. The thing I hate next most is having hair in my mouth. I figured out how to get rid of hair in my mouth. So far, I haven't figured out how to get rid of Uncle Gob. I've managed to bamboozle and confusel him, but I haven't managed to get rid of him. 32, 33, 34. I win, shouted Cracker Snacker. Cracker Snacker is Malcolm's greatest, bestest, most brilliantest and terrificest friend. They love thinking about that time they escaped from Uncle Gob's dreadshed and bamboozled and confused him. Malcolm dipped the serving spoon in the beans bowl and served himself some more beans. Uncle Gob leaned across the table and put his shiny face up close to Malcolm's not-so-shiny face. Are you going to eat those extra beans? Because if you're not going to eat those beans will be wasted. They don't waste beans in China. Oh, no, said Cracker Snacker. They won't be wasted, Mr. Gob. We'll play flick bean with them. He mimed flicking a bean and did the sound effect to go with it. Flirk. Flirk was Cracker Snacker's very own invented bean-flicking sound. Malcolm looked hard at Uncle Gob again. He was bright red and panting in a shiny sort of a way. Malcolm thought that Uncle Gob was so angry with him and Cracker Snacker that he must be very near to exploding. At any second, he could blow up. I wonder which bit of Uncle Gob would fly off first if he started to explode, Malcolm thought. His ears? His nose? Tessa, shouted Uncle Gob at Malcolm's mum. Do something! Say something! Mum said, It's Friday. I've said something. Uncle Gob put his head in his hands and slumped forwards. I don't mean say anything, I mean say something about the boy's outrageous behaviour. This is about discipline. No, said Malcolm, it's about beans. It could be about discipline and beans, said Cracker Snacker. What, at the same time? Malcolm asked. Uncle Gob stood up and roared. Yes, and that's my other bit of news. Yes, here this one, Jelly Boots, Smelly Boots, is coming out in paperback. Look, can you see? That's all nice and soft. So that's coming out, and this one, it also includes an audio CD in the back. Yes, made by Emma Louise Williams. I know her. All right, and she made the CD, and that's me reading all the poems inside this one. Welly boots, smelly boots, fill them up with jelly boots. Welly boots, smelly boots, see them on the telly boots. Welly boots, smelly boots, now they're in my belly boots. Yeah, so that one is now coming out in paperback on the 6th of September. All right, and there's an exclusive, never seen before, clip from the book. Jelly boots, smelly boots, Dave. Welly boots. Welly boots, smelly boots, fill them up with jelly boots. Welly boots, smelly boots, see them on the telly boots. Welly boots, smelly boots, now they're in my belly boots. This poem comes from Jelly Boots, Smelly Boots, with wonderful pictures by David Tasman, published by Bloomsbury. Hi there, and then another bit of news. Bar Humbug, which was a book I wrote that was inspired by Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. That's coming out in paperback. You should be able to see that picture now. And then also a brand new book. Here it comes. Hampstead the Hamster. Yes, that's right. It's a special Christmas book. Look out for that one. What does Leo want? What does he want for Christmas? He wants a hamster. That's right. And I think it came up on his spell check as Hampstead. Yeah. Leo tapped in hamster and it came out as Hampstead, which is a place in London. Hampstead, said Dad. You mean you want to go on a trip to Hampstead Heath? No, said Leo. I want a hamster. You see? So that's coming out. And then if you keep watching, I'll be announcing more about the T-shirts and you're thinking about donuts. Conrad says, I like your stories. Were you really not allowed to breathe in your classroom when you were a kid? That's again, hyperbole, exaggeration. We had a very strict teacher. She did let you breathe, but I pretended she couldn't. Do you know, someone called Mr. Builder put up a joke there a bit earlier. Mr. Builder's joke is, why was the maths book sad? Or math, I think he said, Mr. Builder, because in America they say math. Why was the math book sad? Because it was full of problems. Good one, Mr. Builder, we like it. Shout out to Isaac Stairs and America class at Ardley Hill Academy. Yes, definitely. Oh, I've missed one there. Mark says, what's your proudest literary achievement? Yeah, mine was being the Children's Laureate, 2007 to 2009. And Non says, will there be any more stories like the Nasty series about the Bakerloo Flea Woman? Yes, stand by for You're Thinking About Donuts. Indeed, yes. Will there be a reissue of the original Hypnotizer book? Probably not. And Anon seems to like we're going on a bear hunt translated into Polish. I think it's the only book of mine translated into Polish. I think so. Mr. Murphy at Cross Hall Junior School, Max Year 5 at Cross Hall, and Mr. Murphy 34-5. Maybe that's how old he is. I think it is. When you wrote Bear Hunt, how did you visualise the story? I thought Bear Hunt was going to be like a street parade with the bloke dressed up in a bear suit. But when Helena illustrated it, did you get a surprise? Yes, I went. That's how much of a surprise it was. Okay, and Josephine Mitchell is a year 2 teacher in Bradford, and the children have improved their speaking and listening because they watch the videos. Well, that's lovely. Thank you. Mentioned year 2 children at Christ Church Academy in Bradford. You are hereby mentioned. Yes, that's great. Nigel Jonathan, can you shout out my good friend Lucas Kendall and Jamie Krivitsky and Daniel Damani McCormack. What made you become a poem and story writer for children? Do you know, now I think about it, it may have been partly my mum. You know what her job was? A primary school teacher. Maybe that gets put in the mix as well. Steve says, have you ever considered being an actor? I can picture you as the next Doctor Who. You remember the phone that was sitting here? I wonder whether it's going to ring. Brr, brr. Oh, right. Hello? Yeah. No, I'm not a doctor. No, I did study medicine. Sorry? Who? Doctor Who? Sorry, which doctor is that? Sorry? No, not a witch doctor. Sorry? Doctor Who? No, I don't know what his name is. Oh, you want me to be Doctor Who? Yeah, of course. Diddling, diddling, diddling. No, I'd love to. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll do that. Cheers. Good. Monty, my mum's writing down these questions for me. Well, that's lovely. I'm studying Shakespeare. Are you? It says you're 6. Monty is 6 and he's studying Shakespeare. Wow, that's brilliant. What's the first tale you wrote? It was about a train. It was slowing down, Monty. And I wrote, now the train is slowing down. It's not very good, is it? I thought, I'll try and do better. What's my favourite Shakespeare play? Probably Twelfth Night, Monty. What's your least favourite Shakespeare play? Probably The Winter's Tale. Or maybe it's A Winter's Tale. That's all my questions. Love, Monty. Thank you. Do you know, I was in a school not long ago and I said, are there any questions? There was a boy in the front row and he went, hey, I got a question, Michael Rosen. I said, yes, what's your question? And he said, do you know my dad's name? And I said, no. And he said, it's Patrick. That's the end of that story. That's quite a short story, that one, isn't it? Yeah. News! Teachers channel. Yes, we're launching a new teachers channel. Teachers, if you're watching, I'm going to do a teachers channel. It'll go out on the Michael Rosen for Adults channel. All right. There's an image here you can have a little look at. And there'll be all sorts of videos for a grown-up audience and those interested in writing. So I might be talking about, for example, my book. Oh, I've got it here somewhere. Here it is. It's called What is Poetry? The Essential Guide to Reading and Writing Poems. So I might talk about a book like that on there. And you know what? To get things started, I'm going to interview Mallory Blackman. Yes, you may have heard of her book, Noughts and Crosses, or some of her other books. And I'm going to be interviewing Mallory, actually not long after we finish this live streaming. And then that's going to go up on this new channel. So stay tuned. You're going to hear about, you're thinking about donuts and details about the T-shirts. Nice. Rebecca Morton. Hello, Michael. Shout out to Henry and Dylan Morton. Rebecca Morton and their favourite poems, Strict and Chocolate Cake. You particularly love The Watch. And we met you at Stratford Library and they always say, don't be cheeky, don't be nosy. You know where that comes from? It goes like this. You make a telly, put a good programme on the telly, put your ear on the telly. What's this ear? Put your cheek on the telly. Don't be cheeky. Put your nose on the telly. Don't be nosy. Or it could be the 10 o'clock nose. Put it all together. What's this here? Don't be cheeky. Don't be nosy. 10 o'clock nose. Do you think you can do that? One more time. Let's have a go. Make a telly. Here we go. What's this here? Don't be cheeky. Don't be nosy. 10 o'clock nose. Yes, that's right. Lovely. And you always think about bagels in your... Oh, right, from my bagels poem. That's in Jelly Boots, Smelly Boots, out in paperback. Maybe next time I'll perform that. Quick whiz, Diamond class, Mrs. Fairbanks, Mrs. Etheridge at Perryfields Infant School, rolling class with Miss Budd at Perryfields Juniors, right, and year 2 at Hindley's All Saints Church of England Primary. Can't wait for the live chat. Maybe you had to go, but never mind. Top tips for performing poetry. Feel the pulse in your body as you speak. Yeah? So as you speak, you let the pulse of your body, the pulse of the poem. So as you speak, your body tells the poem as well as your voice. Do you see? Sometimes you can break it, but if you start with that, and then maybe you can rack back from it. Yes. Do I speak Esperanto? No, I don't. But you do. Lovely. Thank you. And you like my book, Alphabetical, because of Hangul, you do Korean as a school subject. Wow, that was from Amike, I think. St Mary's Catholic Primary School in Northampton. Hello. Miss Carol is allowing us to watch you daily. Okay, that's lovely. Alex says, we often hear a lot about your dad in your poems. What else can you tell us about him? I can tell you his name was Harold. It's quite funny, really, isn't it? Harold. And in fact, when I was a kid, you know, he didn't like Dad and Daddy. So you know what we had to call him? Harold. So even when we were little kids, we never called him Dad. We called him Harold. So I know in all my poems it says Dad, Dad this and Dad that. But actually, we called him Harold. Yeah. Duck says, have you considered being a literacy teacher? Well, I think in a way I am, you know. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a literacy teacher, but if someone reads a poem and they like the poem and they read it again, then they're getting literacy, which literacy is only a posh word for letters, you know, or writing. Emilia, yes, hello to you. Taylan, how did your writing career start? Probably when I wrote a play in 1968, which is 50 years ago, probably round about then, really. Charlie, can you write a chocolate cake part 2? No, but I bet you can, Charlie. Laura, was your dad really that cross when you put the top of the toothpaste tube in the shaving soap? Yes, he was. What do you think this is? Who did this? Who put the top of the toothpaste in my shaving soap? Yes, he was that cross. Killian, did you actually want to be a poet when you grew up, or did it happen by accident, like Roald Dahl? Accident. Yes, I think it was really. I mean, I liked writing, but I think I thought I was going to be a playwright. Didn't think I was going to be a poet. What's your favourite colour? This colour, sort of faded dark blue. Favourite food? We did that right at the very beginning. Hummus. Yes, indeed. Lovely. Iyanu Sarah, how can you remember your childhood in such detail? Daydreaming. Do it. It's absolutely the best way to remember your childhood. You just get yourself into a little trance and you just think like that. And you start thinking about how you walked, where you walk, where you go to school, what you did on holiday, and let it happen slowly. And then you sit with it. That's the way you do it. Ewan, okay, he wanted, tell me about my friends at school. Do you know, I'm sorry, Ewan, I don't think we got time for that. I'll put that in the next one. So we know I'm going to do, right, I'm going to do some stuff on Yiddish, and I'm going to do some stuff the next time on friends at school. Darren, were your parents always mad at you? And can you speak Yiddish? Okay, well, I can't really speak Yiddish, but I know lots of words. So here's a word for a fool, a schmendrick, or a word for someone who thinks they're clever, a knacker, or a word for a drying up cloth or a rag is a schmutter. Yeah. So my mum might say, "What are you wearing? So your clothes look like schmutters." Yeah. Or maybe my mum would say, "Don't be a schmendrick." That means don't be a fool. Yeah. Or what else was there? I wrote some down. Oh yeah, my dad never talked about a small child. He would always call the small child a schnip. That means literally somebody who's been like cut off, because a schnip is like snip. It's the same word really. So yeah, so lots of words, but I can't just walk in somewhere and speak it, because I never learnt it that way. But I did learn German, which is a bit like Yiddish, so I can say some things in German that are a bit like the Yiddish. So there we go, Darlin, Xenia or Xenia, Amy and Kellis. Maybe these people, maybe all you folks will have to be in the next live one. Roman Stewart, are you sad that England aren't in the World Cup? And why do you support Arsenal? I support Arsenal because my dad went to see Arsenal play, wait for this, in 1927 or 1926, one or the other, that season, was he went to see with his uncle Leslie Sunshine. And so because my dad supported Arsenal then, my brother and I supported Arsenal, and that's what we all support Arsenal. Emily, what does the big penguin say to the little penguin? I love fish. Good, that's lovely. I like that one, Emily. Kyra mentions my big book of bad things. Big book of bad things. Big book of bad things. That's right. Which school did I go to, says Malachi, or Malachi. I went to 5 schools. Tyneholm Nursery School, Pinnerwood Primary School, West Lodge Primary School, Harrowweald County Secondary School, and Watford Boys Grammar School. Samuel, how long did it take to write chocolate cake? Julia, Aston, Miss Carol, Xaviera, Mackay, Jennifer, love from 36, and then a last additional shout out that came in, I think, just yesterday. Oh, Maple Class, Year 3 at Bower Hill School, Melksham, Wiltshire. And they like saying, in the words of Big Tony, what she says, we're currently using the poems from Quick Let's Get Out of Here in our English lessons. The work we're creating is terrific. That's Big Tony, isn't it? Yeah, could we mention you? We have. And could you mention Walnut Class as well as Maple Class? They're all named after trees at that school, aren't they? So lovely, because we don't want to witness the big sulk, otherwise known as the Incredible Sulk. Do you get it? Incredible Hulk, sulk. So you could say, what do you call somebody who's green? Well, how can we make this a joke? What do you call someone who's green and is very unhappy? The Incredible Sulk. We made a joke. So here we go. We're getting nearly to the end. Right, now then. Andy says, thanks for all the great poems and the YouTube videos you've done. They've brought lots of joy and laughter to many people. If I have children, I will totally show them these poems. Thanks a lot, says Andy W386. Thank you very much indeed. Right, lovely. Let's see whether there's any more just before we finish. Oh yes, Jamie Loughreen says, Big Tony, you're not terrific, because nobody dared say to Big Tony, you're not terrific. No, because we were scared of him, that's why. Yeah, that's right. And then Duck Group say, could you explain what the box poem means? If ever you have a poem and you don't know what it means, say to yourself, what does this poem make me think of? And then you jot it down. And then you share that with somebody. And then you say, if I could ask a question of the thing in the poem, ask it. And if I could ask a question of the person who wrote the poem, write the question. And then switch it round and somebody be the thing or the person in the poem, so you could be the box. And then someone says, well, why are you something or other, whatever your question is. And then the box answers. And then, if you want to make it so it's the poet, which is me, then somebody pretend to be me. And then you answer the question. And I promise you, it will be easy, it'll be something easily as good as anything I would say. Here we go to nearly the end. Okay. Elite M says, I'll do the steering. He's being Haribo there. I'll do the steering. Yeah, he did the first time. But then when I did it, over and over and over, broke my tooth. There, you see? It's still there. That is the broken tooth. Moss Lane in Pinner. I broke my tooth on the go-kart. Okay. Nick Jerrison says, Michael, has the sky foogle ever haunted your dreams? Yes. Lovely. Okay. Right. If you want one of the new official Kids Poems and Stories t-shirts, check on my website, where you can also find all details of what I'm doing and where I'm appearing. What is my website? It's very easy. It's Michael Rosen, all one word, .co.uk. How do you spell Michael? A-E-L at the end, Rosen, R-O-S-E-N. That's it. So if you want a t-shirt, that's the way to do it. There'll be some new books out in September, won't there, Dave? Yep. Okay. And this live cast, this streaming, will be up on the channel soon. So it'll all be up there so you can see it again, find out whether your name came up again. You can watch again. Big thanks to Matt, thank you. You're welcome. Lovely. To Dave. That's David Wells. Laura Zerilli. Yay. Hooray. And all the staff here in the tube at YouTube and Joe Rosen. All right. Can I have a T-shirt yet? Have you got one? Yes. Hey, look. It's come. It's just arrived. It's fantastic. They must have stuck it down the tube. I can't. I'll undo it. Oh, God, it's nearly the end, isn't it? Oh no, can I get it open? Yeah. Oh, this is good. It's a lovely box. Thank you for the box, Laura. That's fantastic. Oh, this is really rather good. Oh wow. Yeah. Oh look. Oh wow. Oh no, you can't see it, can you? All right, I'll turn it round. No breathing. Yeah, wonderful. Thanks, Laura. That's great. That's fantastic. Wow, yes. So, right. Now then, remember to subscribe to our channel. In fact, I can't put it on. All right, it's not one of those kinds of programs. Okay, so remember to subscribe to the channel. All right, that's easy done. Hit the bell for notifications. Ping! Sign up to our Patreon page. See you next time. And the first episode of Your Thinking About Donuts is coming on later today. Not sorry, thank you. Yeah, so it's coming on later today. I was going to say sorry, it's not immediately. All right, and this book was written by me some time ago, in 1987, in fact. All right, really sorry if we missed out anybody who wrote in. All right, and I want to say thanks to all of you who watched. And, Andy W38 says, what a strict shirt. Do you get it? Strict. No, it's a strict shirt. You get that? It's good. Well done. It's a good one. Yeah. Luminescent Phoenix wants a hug. Okay. Hug. Big hug. Everyone. Big hug. Nice one. That's good. Oh, Monty Lawless says that's the wrong website link. www.michaelrosen.co.uk, Monty. Okay. I promise you. Honestly. Monty, are you listening? Good, lovely. Mr. Builder says a great live stream. Thank you, Mr. Builder. Ryan Dunn says see you soon. Linda McDonough says you missed me. I haven't now, Linda. Do you get that? You see, you said miss me and now I haven't. That's good. So there's good. Okay then, so thanks to all of you and bye for now. Bye. Bye from all of us here in the tube.